everybody and welcome back to the chateau, and it has been a little while because I've been doing other things. We're all entitled to a little bit of time off, but thank you for all of the people that were messaging and worrying, etc, etc. Everything is good. Now, as you can see, spring has arrived, although briefly. We've had a few days good weather. Things are starting to dry out a little bit, so there are some really important things which have to get done now, as spring is springing, before bad weather comes again at the end of the week. And I am actually waiting for the arrival of stuff for the bedroom renovation, so hopefully that will all time very well with delivery for that at the same time as the bad weather comes. So I'm going to get on with stuff here, and that's what I'll be doing. Robot mower is out and doing its thing. Always a help. And it's, what is it? It's the 3rd of March. So really, sometime sort of halfway through March, you should try not to cut hedges, etc., where possible. So I've got to get lots of stuff down, but it's not just about birds nesting. At the moment, I'd rather they're in the trees anyway, they're higher up. It is about making sure stuff grows back properly. So the hydrangeas have been trimmed right down, otherwise they end up literally coming up sort of there on that window. You've got to be trimmed right back before they start budding. And the fuchsias at the side, they've all been cut down, right down. And there's some more hydrangeas, there's lots more to do, but the question always comes up. So some of you that might have just watched that will definitely be asking what I've been doing with the trees out the front, which are, well, they need pollarding because they'll all look a little bit weird, and I will explain. So these, I've just been cutting back little shoots that come off of the trunks, and I will be redoing them with the lime wash at the bottom, because as you can see from the bottom to the top, the lime wash is there to stop all sorts of things that shouldn't grow on it. It protects the trees. And the top, these are cut in a certain way. You'll have seen this. It's called pollarding. And hello, I'm afraid, mate, because I cannot keep an eye on you, but the doors are open because the sun's out and you're feeling better with the weather. You're gonna have to just close this. Sorry, you are in prison for a moment. Yes, exactly. Now, where was I? Sorry, your sentence is not up for review yet. Now, back to what I was saying. So up here, this has been left for 2. You're supposed to do it once every year to every 3, depending on the growth. That to me is a little bit too long, really. I should have done it last year, but you've got to do it at the right time, and that gets weather dependent. You want to do it in nice weather. You don't want to be out here falling over and all the rest of it, but you do. You also don't want huge amounts of damp getting at the ends where you cut, but you also would prefer before leaves come. This is a little bit too late, but it's still going to happen, and I'll need it done before any birds want to come and nest. So all of this growth will be cut off, so you've just got the arms, and then they put the leaves on from there. It doesn't get done as much as it's supposed to get done, and that is the issue everywhere, because these are supposed to be cut, like I said, every 1 to 3 years, depending on growth. And when they don't and get hugely overgrown, the root system grows out. So these are planted and cut like this in places where you wouldn't expect to see tree trunks, because of the root systems destroying things. And what happens when they are then left to get too big, as they were before I got here, the roots, because they grow more when they have more height, so they need bigger roots, and they knock walls out and everything. So all around that's been knocked out, and all of the wall that should be there, like the wall there, all gone due to these being getting too big. So what I'm going to do is make sure that doesn't happen, and these are everywhere. I've got these up by the kitchen garden as well, by the gardener's cottage. I'm going to get these done today, and then hopefully some others tomorrow. Making a bit of a mess. Right, it's also really difficult to see everything, especially with the sun. So you've got to kind of do it in stages and do, I can get to that bit, then you extend this extremely long chainsaw out. And I would have the back brace for that, but over the winter, where everything gets stored, I've had a rodent infestation, so everything is getting cleaned before I use it. I am not putting anything on me. So this is almost done. Some ones I missed at the bottom, and that one's actually just stuck. But this is, and then half of that one, and some of this, and that's how much this makes. So I think, because it's going to be much easier to do this, if I sort out a wood chipper, and I can just put this stuff straight into a wood chipper and clean up. When the spring weather comes, there is always a rush. And don't get me wrong, I think this is going to end in 3 or 4 days, but it's the sign that you need, and you need to rush at everything at that point. It's not just my stuff that I've got to deal with. Obviously, with spring coming, Billy, and more importantly, I think San and Stady, will need the wood chipper, and we've been on with parts and all the rest of it. It's all back together, and There's a few last little bits and pieces that need doing to it. There was a test today, and the valve clearances and fueling is not set up right because it's smoking under load, as you can see. But it is doing its job. It's not getting hot, so the new head has solved that issue. The thermostat was completely ruined and stuck, and there are a couple of other little bits and pieces. Just little things that I will do before Billy gets it back, like this safety cable is broken, so I'll put a new cable on it for him, a couple of little bits and pieces, give it a clean up, grease everything up, and I'll do all that when I do the valve clearances. And then, hopefully, that will be off to deal with the scrub, brush and overgrown panard, and then I'll drag my one out from over there and get my house done. But I've also had a few other things. However, that is kept me occupied this afternoon and I haven't filmed this, so I need to get back to my house. Right, as I don't have a wood chipper today, I'll see if I can finish that off in the morning. I'm not going to continue to make more mess. I'm going to pull this out the way so cars can go in and out, and carry on with this when the sun is not right there in my eyes. And I'm going to get one last job done to keep on with the spring thing and making things look good now. My sun is going down over there. The little robot mower is doing its thing in here, and quite well, but there's lots of little mounds, because these do very, very, very well when they're constantly going and mulching just short grass. And obviously this wasn't that short because it's the first year, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a helping hand. I'm going to rake some stuff up, chuck it in the bushes, and let it go with out these little fun little mounds of grass. How good it is under here. Yeah, it's done a good cut under that. Yeah. Not done a bad cut at all under that. I'm going to carry on with that stuff while the sun's going down over the trees at the back of the chateau. Have a shower, get changed, and go to the bar for the open mic. So, I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye now.